Good day everyone. In this video we shall discuss three-phase 180 degrees mode voltage source inverter. Overview of the lecture is as follows. Firstly, we shall discuss a brief introduction to three-phase voltage source bridge type inverter, then followed by three-phase 180 degrees mode VSI with star connected load, and then 180 degrees mode VSI with delta connected load. Finally, we shall conclude the session with shoot through problem in three-phase 180 degrees mode VSI. So, where VSI stands for voltage source inverter. Circuit diagram of voltage source inverter is shown in this particular slide. So, figure A is a thyristor based voltage source inverter. Figure B is a transistor based voltage source inverter, where transistor used in this inverter is IGBT. Now you can see that there are 6 switches that are involved in this voltage source inverter, figure B and A in both cases. Transistor 1 and diode 1. So this resistor 1 and diode 1. So these together constitute a bidirectional and unipolar switch. We know in order to realize three-phase voltage source inverter, we require 6 bidirectional and unipolar switches. So you can see, so this T1 D1, so this is one such switch, and this T3 and D3, T5 D5. So a thyristor in antiparallel with diode together constitute a bidirectional unipolar switch. So we have such 6 switches. Similarly, in this figure B also, in this IGBT based inverter also, we have 6 switches. So IGBT in antiparallel diode and IGBT with antiparallel diode constitute a bidirectional unipolar switch. So we have such 6 switches involved, right? So each inverter, each kind of inverter will have their advantages and disadvantages. The logic behind the operation of three-phase inverter, three-phase bridge inverter is as follows. We should apply gating signal to the switches in such a way that a balanced three-phase voltage would appear across the load, a balanced load, three-phase load. So switches would be gated at regular intervals in proper sequence, so that three-phase AC voltage is synthesized at the output voltage. And numbering is assigned to the switches, right? So 1, 2, 3, 5, 3, 4, 5 and 6. The numbering is assigned to the switches in the sequence in which they are triggered to obtain three-phase balanced voltage at the output terminals. So we will understand how, once you understand the gating pattern, you will get to know. So why these numbers are assigned. Okay, these numbers are assigned in the sequence. Okay, so in fact we have to trigger the switches in this particular sequence only. So for example, I would like, for example, maybe in 180 degrees mode operation, you need to trigger 3 switches at a time. So 1, 2, 3, for example, at given instant I am triggering 1, 2 and 3. Okay, in next step you have to trigger 2, 3 and 4. In next step you need to trigger 3, 4, 5 and so on. So based on the sequence in which you need to trigger the switches, so numbers are assigned. The switches which are connected to positive terminal of the input voltage source, they are said to be positive group switches, and the switches which are connected to the negative terminal of the source, they are said to be negative group switches. So based on the gating pattern, so you can operate this voltage source inverter in 2 modes. Okay, based on the mode in which mode it is operated, you can classify, again you can refer it as that particular inverter. There are 2. So first one is 180 degrees mode operation, second one is 120 degrees mode operation. So in 180 degrees mode voltage source inverter, each switch conduct for 180 degrees. In 120 degrees mode operation, each switch conduct for 120 degrees. in this lecture our focus is on 180 degrees mode operation. So our we discussed three phase 180 degrees mode VSI in this lecture. The gating pattern of 180 degrees mode voltage source inverter is given here. So in the form of this table, right? 0 to so each cycle is corresponding to 360 degrees. Now you can see, so this 0 to 360 degrees that indicate one complete cycle for completion of a voltage waveform for any phase. Okay, and again you can see in this particular table there are 6 steps involved in one cycle, right? You can see, so this is step number 1, so step number 2, so each step is about 60 degrees. So in order to complete each step we require 60 degrees. In step number 1, so this is step number 1, so that is from 0 to 60 degrees. So 3 switches are in conduction. So what are they? Switch 5, 6 and 1, so they are in conduction. So you need to apply gating signal to those switches. So once step 1 is over, that is at 60 degrees, you can see that, so this switch number 5 is turned off and switch number 2 is turned on. Switch number 2 is turned on. So in step number 2, that is from 60 degrees to 120 degrees, switch 6, 1 and 2 are conducting. And after 120 degrees, that is after completion of second step, so switch 6 is turned off, in place switch 3 is turned on, right? So what are the switches that are in conduction in step number 3? 1, 2 and 3 are in conduction. Step number 4, so switch 1 is going to be turned off and switch 4 is going to be turned on. So 2, 3 and 4 are going to be turned on. So they are going to be conducting switch number in step number 4. Step number 5, 3, 4, 5. Step number 6, 4, 5, 6 are going to be conducting respectively. So this is for one complete cycle. After completion of one cycle, again in the same sequence we need to apply gating pulses for switches. If you look at this particular conduction table, you can observe one thing. Each switch is going to conduct for 180 degrees. So switch 1 and 4 are corresponding to A phase. So that is for leg 1. So leg 1 is corresponding to A phase. So in this particular leg, so switch 1 and 4 are placed and they are going to conduct 180 degrees each. So, and they are not going to conduct simultaneously. If they conduct simultaneously, that leads to a dead short circuit of the voltage source. So when T1 is conducting, T4 must be off. When T4 conducting, T1 must be off. So same logic would used to be applied for the other phases also. Now see, so this second arm is corresponding to B phase, in which switch number 3 and 6 are connected. So they are placed. So switch 3 and 6 must not conduct simultaneously. Similarly, switch 5 and 2, which are placed in leg 3 corresponding to phase C phase, so they should not be conducting simultaneously, right? So that is ensured in this gating scheme. You can see in phase B also, when 6 is conducting, 3 is off. When 3 is conducting, 6 is off, and so on. Similarly in phase C also, so this phase C also, switch number 5 and 2 are not conducting simultaneously. However, in each arm, the switches are going to conduct for 180 degrees. In total 60 degrees cycle, 180 degrees for switch number, so one top switch, and 180 degrees for bottom switch for each phase. So this is the gating pattern of a 180 degrees mode voltage source inverter. Now let us see how the output voltage waveform for this particular mode of operation. So for that we should analyze the circuit for each step. Let us see what would be the phase voltage and line voltage for each phase for step 1. In step 1, so switch number 5, switch number 6 and switch number 1 are conducting. So now remaining switches are going to be off. Remaining switches are going to be off. Let me assume that load is balanced. A balanced load is connected across the output terminals. Okay, line to line. So between this, and you can see line to line voltages between A and B, it is VAB, and VBC is line to line voltage between B and C, and VCA is line to line voltage between A and C. Now we have a balanced three-phase load across the load terminals. In step 1, the equivalent circuit diagram. So that is this. So step number 1. So input side we have voltage source. Output side we have load. Three-phase balanced star connected load. So I have taken star connected load first. Star connected load, and load is balanced. You can see each phase impedance. If you see, they are equal in magnitude, and of course phase angle also. Right. So switch 1 is conducting, switch is conducting, and switch 5 is conducting. So in step number 1, you can see 2 switches from the positive group and 1 switch from the negative group is conducting. Right. So this is the circuit diagram. So to indicate step 1. And further, if you redraw the circuit diagram for convenience, you will get this kind of circuit diagram. So you can see that input side a voltage source is connected. So A phase is connected to positive terminal, and C phase also connected to the positive terminal. Right. So A phase and C phase both are shorted. A phase and B phase both are shorted. Similarly, B phase, you can see. So B phase is connected to the negative terminal, right, through switch 6. So B phase is connected to negative terminal. Between A phase, B phase and C phase, we have balanced star connected load, that is shown here, right. Now because phase A terminal, phase B terminal, so both are shorted, so line to line voltage between C and A, so VCA is 0. So please do remember that, right. So now so apply network loss. So voltage division rule or current division rule. Try to find out what is the phase voltage, each phase voltage, and what is each line voltage. Now phase voltage VAO here, so VAO, so that is equal to VS by 3. So phase voltage VBO, so VBO, okay, applying network law, you can see that, so VOB is equal to 2S by 3, so VBO is equal to minus 2S by 3. And VCO is equal to plus Vs by 3. Okay. So let me repeat. VAO is equal to Vs by 3. VBO is equal to B phase voltage equal to minus 2S by 3, and C phase voltage equal to plus Vs by 3. So please note down those values. And coming to line voltages, so VAB, you can see between A phase and B phase, so this source voltage appear directly. VAB is equal to Vs. What is VBC? So VBC, you can see that VCB is equal to plus Vs, so VBC is equal to minus Vs. VBC is equal to minus Vs. Coming to VCA, VCA is equal to 0 because A and C are shorted. So these are the phase voltages and line voltages corresponding to step 1. Similarly, in step 2, that is between 60 degrees and 120 degrees, switch number 6, 1 and 2 are conducting. So switch number 6, switch number 1 and switch number 2 are conducting. If you observe carefully, 2 switches from the negative group and 1 switch from the positive group is conducting. Right? And what about the remaining switches? Switch number 3, 4, 5, they are off. So they are open. So let you draw the equivalent circuit diagram for steps 2. So that is this way. Across the load terminals, you have balanced load as shown here, and input side we have voltage source. Switch 1 is conducting, switch 6 is conducting, and switch 2 is conducting. Right? If you observe carefully, A phase terminal is connected to positive terminal of the voltage source. B phase is connected to negative terminal of the input voltage source. C phase is also connected. To negative terminal of the input voltage source. In fact, this B phase and C phase are shorted. So redraw the circuit diagram. If you redraw circuit diagram, you can see that A phase is connected to the positive terminal and B phase, C phase both are shorted, and these two together are connected to the negative terminal of the voltage source. Between A phase, B phase and C phase, we have a balanced three-phase load. Right? Now apply network loss, voltage division rule and current division rule, or the mesh analysis, current or nodal analysis, whatever the technique that you are familiar with, and obtain the phase voltage and line voltages. I leave it to you. So it is very simple to do it. So one can do it. Now what is A phase voltage? A phase voltage so is equal to plus 2Vs by 3, and B phase voltage, you can see VOB is equal to Vs by 3. So VBO, B phase voltage, that is equal to minus Vs by 3. Similarly, VCO is also equal to minus Vs by 3, corresponding to step 2. What about the line voltage? VAB, again, so you can see between A and B, directly input voltage source voltage would appear, so that is equal to Vs. And what about VBC? So B and C are shorted, VBC is equal to 0, and VCA is equal to minus Vs. In step 3, that is between 120 degrees to 180 degrees, switch 1, switch 2, so switch 2 and switch 3 are conducting, right? So 2 from the positive group and 1 from negative group is conducting in step 3. Input side, so we know we have voltage source. The output side, we have balanced a star connected load, and A phase terminal is connected to the positive terminal directly through this switch 1. So B phase terminal is also connected to the positive terminal of the input voltage source through switch 3, and C phase is connected to negative terminal of the input voltage source through switch 2. In fact, the B phase and A phase both are shorted, right? Redraw the equivalent circuit diagram. A phase is connected to the positive terminal and B phase is also connected to the positive terminal, both are shorted. C phase is connected to negative terminal of the input voltage source. Between A phase, B phase and C phase, we have a star connected balanced load, right? So applying network loss, again you can find out phase voltage and line voltages. So one can do it easily applying a simple network analysis. A phase voltage, that is VAO, is equal to Vs by 3, and B phase voltage, so that is VBO, again it is equal to Vs by 3. VCO, you can see that is equal to minus 2Vs by 3, that is C phase voltage, right? Coming to line voltages, so between A and B, you can see we have a short circuit, so VAB is equal to 0. What about VBC? So VBC, between B and C, we have a voltage source directly, input voltage source directly. Voltage VBC is equal to Vs. And what about VCA? So VCA is equal to minus Vs. VCA equal to minus Vs. That is, these are the line voltages corresponding to step 3. Now in step 4, so that exists between 180 degrees and 240 degrees corresponding to conduction diagram. What are the switches that are conducting? 2, 3 and 4. 2, 3 and 4. So switch number 2 is conducting, 3 is conducting, and also switch number 4 is conducting. So these 3 are conducting. And what about remaining switches? Switch 1, 5 and 6, so they are open, so they won't conduct. They are not in conduction, okay? They are not turned on in step 4. Redraw the corresponding circuit diagram in simple fashion. So input side we have a voltage source, output side a balanced star connected load, right? So A phase is connected to negative terminal of DC voltage source input side through the switch 4, right? Switch 4. Similarly, B phase. So B phase is connected to positive terminal of input voltage source through switch 3, and C phase is connected to the negative terminal of input voltage source through switch 2, and here B phase and C phase, B phase and A phase are shorted, right? B phase and A phase are shorted. You can see this is corresponding to A phase, this is corresponding to C phase. Both are going to be shorted. So redraw the circuit diagram in simple way. Input side we have voltage source, right? And positive terminal of voltage source is connected to B phase, right? And negative terminal of the voltage source is connected to A phase as well as C phase. Between A phase, B phase and C phase we have balanced star connected load. Apply the network loss to obtain phase voltages and line voltages. Now applying network loss, we can obtain A phase voltage equal to minus Vs by 3 and C phase voltage equal to minus Vs by 3. B phase voltage that is equal to plus 2 Vs by 3. Coming to line voltage, so VAB. So VAB between A and B, we have the voltage source voltage, input voltage source voltage in reverse way. So with reverse polarity, that is equal to minus Vs. Between B and C, the source voltage appear directly, so that is equal to Vs. Between C and A, because C and A are shorted, so VCA is equal to 0. Similarly, you can obtain the phase voltage and line voltages for step 5 and 6. In step 5, 3, 4, 5 are conducting. Step 6, 4, 5, 6 are conducting. 4, 5, 6 are conducting. So draw the equivalent circuit diagrams and obtain phase voltage and line voltages. Okay. So I leave it to you guys, the homework. Now in step 1, phase voltage, we know phase voltages VA, so A phase voltage Vs by 3, B phase voltage minus 2Vs by 3 and C phase voltage Vs by 3, right? In step 2, VAO 2Vs by 3, and in step 3 VAO equal to Vs by 3, and in step 4 it is equal to minus Vs by 3, and in step 5 it is minus 2Vs by 3. So you can see, so these are the phase voltage corresponding to phase A from step 1 to 5. So indicate them. So you can see, so phase A voltage in step 1 that is Vs by 3, in step 2 2Vs by 3, and step 4 3 it is Vs by 3, and step 5 minus Vs by 3, and step 5 it is minus 2Vs by 3, and so on. So we will have, you can find A phase voltage is a stepped wave. Okay, stepped wave. And similarly B phase voltage, so this is corresponding to B phase voltage corresponding to each step. So in each step, so in first step phase B voltage minus 2Vs by 3, and in second step it is minus Vs by 3, in third step it is Vs by 3, in fourth step it is 2Vs by 3, and in fifth step it is plus Vs by 3, and so on. So again you can also observe B phase voltage also a stepped wave. So coming to C phase, so step 1 it is Vs by 3, and step 2 minus Vs by 3, step 3 minus 2Vs by 3. So indicate that. Okay. So following these particular values, so sketch them. Okay, sketch them neatly. Okay. So you get again C phase voltage also a stepped wave. So one of the important observation, all phase voltages are going to follow the same pattern with some phase shift, 120 degrees phase shift. Now shift this A phase voltage by 120 degrees, you would get B phase voltage, and shift the A phase voltage by 240 degrees, you will get C phase voltage. Shifting A phase voltage by 120 degrees, you will get B phase voltage. Shifting A phase voltage by 240 degrees, we are going to get the C phase voltage. So all phase voltages are going to have equal magnitude but with some phase shift, right? So they are balanced. They are balanced. However, they are not sinusoidal. They are not smooth sinusoidals. The output voltages are not smooth sinusoidals. So it is not pure sinusoid. So they contain harmonics also. They contain harmonics also. The load will see harmonic voltage also apart from the required fundamental voltage. and you can obtain the contribution of the harmonics into the output voltage. You can compute TSD in order to evaluate the quality of the 3-phase 180 degrees mode VSI, right? The RMS value of each phase voltages are going to be equal. So now what I do, I will find out the voltage the Fourier series, okay, RMS values of overall voltage, RMS value of fundamental voltage corresponding to only a phase. The remaining phase voltage is also going to be equal, except the phase shift, they are going to have similar values. So I will do the analysis for only a phase voltage. So let us find out the a phase RMS voltage overall, that is equal to root 3 by 2 Vs. So we know how to compute that. Okay, you can do that, and if you do that, you will get root 2 by 3 into Vs. Fourier series expansion of a phase voltage, so that is equal to 2 Vs by n into sine n omega t, so sigma, where n is equal to 1, 5, 7 and so on up to infinity. So here Vs is the input voltage, n is the harmonic number, omega is the frequency of fundamental component, so fundamental frequency. If you know the switching period to complete one complete cycle, that is equal to t, then 2 pi by t is the fundamental frequency in radians per second. Now this Fourier series contain only hard harmonics, and that too triplet harmonics are absent. You can see third harmonic, 9th harmonic, 15th harmonic, they are absent. So they are absent. We have only the hard harmonic without triplet harmonic. So the phase voltage is free from triplet harmonic. This is one of the advantage. Okay, some of the harmonics are eliminated. Fourier series expansion for phase current. So let me consider A phase current only. Of course, we can obtain B phase voltage and B phase current, C phase voltage and C phase current by shifting the A phase by 120 degrees and 240 degrees respectively. Okay, you can do it. I leave it to you. Now coming to the phase current. So for each harmonic component, if you know the impedance, for example, for nth harmonic, let me say the impedance magnitude is equal to Zn and impedance phase angle is equal to minus pi n. Okay, sorry, it is pi n. So then corresponding the current would be 2 Vs by n pi into Zn into sine n omega t minus pi n. Right? The voltage would be divided by the magnitude of the impedance, and phase angle of the component would have the phase angle difference, that is equal to next one, RMS value of fundamental phase voltage and phase current. It is very, very important because after all we want a fundamental component to contribute to the power supply with respect to the load. Remaining harmonics are to be eliminated. So it is important to know the fundamental components. Fundamental phase voltage, so we know the peak value, that is 2 Vs by n pi, so 2 Vs by pi, so divided by root 2 would get the RMS value. Similarly phase voltage also, so we know it is again the sinusoidal, its RMS value is equal to peak value by root 2. Power absorbed by 3-phase load corresponding to the fundamental component, only fundamental component if you consider, that is equal to 3 into phase voltage into phase current into the cosine of the phase angle difference between phase voltage and phase current corresponding to fundamental component, only fundamental component. Okay. So this is about the phase voltage, phase with respect to phase quantities. Now coming to line quantities. These are the line quantities. So we know in step 1 VAB is equal to Vs, VBC equal to minus Vs, and VCA is equal to 0. Step 2 VAB is equal to Vs, VBC is equal to 0, VCA equal to minus Vs, and step 3 VAB 0, VBC Vs, VCA minus Vs, and so on. So let you indicate them. If you indicate them, you can observe that the output line voltage would be quasi square waveform. Okay, there is some period, if you see, there is some period during which it is equal to 0. Now you can see for every complete cycle, so you can see, so there are two, okay, there are two steps in which voltage is equal to 0, right? So for 120 degrees, so for 240 degrees we are going to have voltage, and remaining 120 degrees we are going to have the 0 voltage. So 0 voltage. So this is a quasi square waveform. Okay, obtain the value of the line voltage for line voltages, each line voltages VAB, VCB and VCA for each step, and then draw them. So draw them for each steps. So for each step, draw them, indicate them. You will get this kind of quasi square waveform. Now coming to the RMS value of line voltage. So find out using the formula. You will get that is equal to root 2 by 3 into Vs. Root 3 by 2 into Vs, and if you observe carefully, so this is equal to root 3 times the RMS value of the phase voltage. Okay. Now the second one, Fourier series expression of line voltage. VAB is equal to, again, so line voltage also free from the triplet harmonics. It contains only hard harmonics, and in fact it contains first harmonics, fifth harmonic, seventh harmonic, and so on, without triplet harmonics. The peak value of the nth harmonic, that is equal to 4 Vs by n pi into cos n pi by 6. And if you observe carefully, this line voltage will lead phase voltage by 30 degrees or 5 by 6 radians, right? By substituting n is equal to your required number, you can obtain the peak value of, the component corresponding to that nth order harmonics. So by substituting n equal to 1, you will get first order component, that is fundamental component, n is equal to 5, so fifth order harmonic, n is equal to 7, seventh order harmonic, and so on. Of course, our interest is on fundamental component. Remaining components is to be eliminated usually. And line current is equal to phase current, no, for star connection. RMS value of fundamental line voltage and line current, so you can obtain this way. So substitute n is equal to 1 and divided by root 2, divided by root 2 for the peak value, you would get the RMS value. You know, this is the RMS value of the peak value of the line voltage, divided by root 2, you will get the RMS value, and substitute n equal to 1. So you will get that is equal to root 3 times the fundamental phase voltage. Similarly, fundamental line current IL1 is equal to IPH1. So see, this one to indicate it is fundamental component. So both are equal. Power absorbed by 3-phase load, yeah, so that is equal to root 3 into VL into IL into cos phi. So it is corresponding to fundamental component only. Our interest is to find out power absorbed by 3-phase load due to fundamental component only. So consider only RMS value of the fundamental line currents. So we know how to compute the power absorbed due to any component using line quantities, right? So root 3 into line voltage into line current into the power factor of the particular component. So now I have considered only fundamental component, so I have assigned 1 here, right? Yeah. So triplet harmonics are absent in phase voltage and line voltages in this 3-phase 180 degrees mode VSI. Coming to the delta connection, so in delta connection also, so again, so replace the load for step 1 and step 2. For each case, again, in each step, again you are going to have similar kind of the equivalent circuit diagram, except load side we have the delta connected load. Okay, delta connected load. So do that. Okay, so in delta connected load, we know phase voltage is equal to line voltage, and line current is equal to root 3 times the phase current, right? So so if you phase voltage equal to line voltage, sketch the line voltage which is also equal to phase voltage. You will observe the similar kind of line voltage for VAB and VBC and VCA. So with respect to the star connection load, so in star connected load and delta connected load, we will have same line voltages. But line voltages are, so line voltage equal to phase voltage for delta connection, so that is only difference. So no need to draw phase voltage separately, both are equal, right? So that anybody can do. So simply the circuit diagram for each step, equivalent circuit diagram for each steps are going to be same, except the load side we have the delta connection, right? Yeah. So now line quantities and phase quantities for delta connected load. So again, line quantity is equal to phase quantity, line voltage equal to phase voltage, right? Line voltage equal to phase voltage, RMS value of line voltage equal to root 3 by root under square root 2 by 3 into Vs. This is the line voltage, and Fourier series expansion. So again, so it would be similar to that of the Fourier series expansion for line voltage for the star connected load. So fundamental component of line voltage and its RMS value you will get this way. So fundamental voltage, simply substituting n is equal to 1, you will get that, and by dividing the peak value of fundamental voltage by root 2, you will get the RMS value of fundamental component. Coming to line current is equal to root 3 times the phase current. So all terminal harmonics are absent from line voltages. Coming to the phase quantities, phase voltage equal to line voltage, right? So phase voltage equal to line voltage. So the RMS value of phase voltage or fundamental phase voltage or Fourier series, so all are going to be same. So Fourier series expansion of phase current, so you can obtain using this formula. So phase voltage equal to line voltage, no? Simply phase current is equal to phase voltage by the impedance, right? So impedance, so that is what we are doing here. So with respect to magnitude, you have to divide the voltage by the corresponding impedance offered to corresponding harmonic. Now you can see line voltage equal to phase voltage, no? So line voltage, the phase voltage divided by corresponding the impedance. So that is Zn is the impedance corresponding to nth harmonic. That is what is used to compute the magnitude of the phase current. Coming to phase angle, yes. So there would be some phase shift, right? Definitely there should be some phase shift, and this phase shift is corresponding to the nth harmonic. So find out the impedance corresponding to the nth harmonic, find out its magnitude. So that is equal to Zn, and its phase angle is equal to pi n. Fundamental component of the phase current, so simply substitute n equal to 1, you would get that. And RMS value of the phase, the fundamental phase component, phase current, so that is equal to, so simply the magnitude, maximum, the peak value of the fundamental component divided by root 2, that gives us the phase current. Power absorbed by load due to fundamental component, fundamental current only, that is equal to 3 times the power due to each phase. So that is equal to phase voltage into RMS value into phase current RMS value into the cosine of angle between phase voltage and phase current corresponding to fundamental component only. Okay, this is the formula. So this is about the operation of 3-phase 180 degrees mode voltage source inverter with delta connected load. Now there is one problem with 3-phase 180 degrees mode voltage source inverter. So that is shoot through. So what is that? So we know that in, for example, in one particular step, switch 1, switch 2 and switch 3 are conducting. For example, in step 3, so switch 1, 2, 3 are conducting. Okay, once step 3 is over, that is at 180 degrees. So what are we doing actually? What we need to do? So we need to switch, we need to turn on switch 4, right? So we need to turn on switch 4 after completion of step 3 immediately. Now if you turn on this switch 4 after completion of step 3 immediately, what is going to happen? So this is turned on, and in case if this switch 1 is taking some time to turn off, usually that is the case, right? So usually switches there is some delay in the on to off, right? So that is known as turn off delay. So once you turn off this switch, it would conduct. There will be some delay. It conduct for short period. Even you remove the gate pulse. Even you turn off. Even you remove gate pulse. And during that particular short period, so T1 is already turned on, it is going to conduct, and T1 also going to conduct. T4 and T1 both are going to conduct. So both are going to conduct. So in this particular leg, the switch 1 and 2 together simultaneously are going to conduct, which in turn lead to a dead short circuit of the voltage source. So which is known as a shoot through. Okay, so same thing, same problem would occur for each step. So even after 2, 3, 4, so even after step 4, so the incoming switch and outgoing switch. So there is a possibility in one particular leg, incoming switch and outgoing switch are going to conduct simultaneously, which lead to the shoot through problem. So what we should ensure that there is some time gap. Okay, there should be some time gap. Okay, so there should be some commutation interval exists between removal of IZ1 and application of IZ4. There should be some time gap. So once this switch is turned off completely, then only you should turn on the switch, right? So otherwise, so this shoot through problem will lead to the damage of the circuit components. Okay, so this is one of the important problem. This is one of the major problem with 3-phase 180 degrees mode voltage source inverter. Now this is about 3-phase 180 degrees mode voltage source inverter. The summary. So in 3-phase 180 degrees mode voltage source inverter, each switch conduct for 180 degrees. There are 6 steps involved in each cycle, and each step duration is 60 degrees. And in each step, 3 switches are going to conduct. So 2 from one group and 1 from other. There is a possibility of occurrence of shoot through in 3-phase voltage source inverter in 180 degrees mode operation. Line to line voltage is a quasi square wave with amplitude plus or minus Vs and duration okay, so and duration of 120 degrees. So you can see, so this is 120 degrees duration, right? Plus Vs is 120 degrees and minus Vs also during 120 degrees. So this is the line to line voltage. So this is the line to line voltage between A and B phase. Now I give you a small assignment. So find out quality of the 3-phase voltage source inverter with 180 degrees mode with respect to line voltages. So find out the overall RMS value of line to line voltage, that is equal to square root 2/3 into Vs, and find out the fundamental component of line voltage. So if you know both of them, I hope you can find out THD, total harmonic distortion. So find out that and try to evaluate the quality of this voltage source inverter. These are the references that I followed to deliver this lecture. In next lecture, we shall discuss 3-phase voltage source inverter with 120 degrees mode operation. Thank you.